South Africa complete a magnificent chase in India. Well done to the ODI side, following in the footsteps of the Test side, I must say. We are starting to see something develop here, starting to see a team develop here, an ethos develop here, a work ethic develop here. It's magnificent, the fight that we're showing with the bat and with the ball as well, I have to say, because we didn't start well with the ball in today's game. But we'll talk about that a little bit later on the show. But what a magnificent win. It is a historic one for South Africa, and it's a historic one for any team that's going to India and trying to play some cricket there. But I'm extremely proud of this victory, and I want to get into the depth, into the discussion of the match and how it went. It wasn't your nerves weren't always going to be on the positive side from a South African standpoint, especially with the start that we got to this match. And when you see top players like the likes of Virat Kohli and Gaikwad and all of those guys put on performances like they do, you get a little bit, you get a little bit scared, you get a little bit scared when they are as in form as they are. Because my word, for Kohli to score another 100, magnificent. But we'll get into the details on today's show. And I'm also going to get into the live chat and try to read all of your live chats if I can get to it. But I think let's go straight into today's review and have a discussion about this match. But before we get going, before we get started, first subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell for all future video. It's so nice to be a little bit more energetic here, coming to you with white ball cricket. And there's a win to talk about because we haven't had many of those that we can speak about at this particular crux of a series, especially when the pressure was put on by the team first, the opposition team in their own home country. Don't forget to smash the like button and comment and share this video as well, but also comment in the comment section after we've ended the stream. Very important that you guys do so, please, because that's how we get into recommended feeds. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Everybody, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine, and this is your review show. I'm your host, Khalid Mohideen, and this is the show where we discuss everything that has to do with the second ODI between South Africa and India in Raipur. Okay, guys, what happened? What happened in this match? Oh, I'm so excited to talk to you guys about this because it has been a while since I've seen a win like this. In a close match, in a clutch match, when there's a lot on the line, series on the line, pressures on chasing. That when last have we seen something like this? So I'm really excited to actually speak about this game with you guys. But South Africa won the toss again, surprisingly, and we put India in to bat again. Let me just start there first. I have to give them a lot of credit and props for going with the same mentality into this match. Looking at the conditions, not being scared of the way the first match went, because we did get very close in that chase as well. We only lost by 14 runs. But to have the belief and the confidence to say, okay, cool, we're going to put India to bat again, even with their informed players. I thought that showed courage, and that was very brave from the captain and the coach to decide that. So India went into bat, and it started off a bit wonky at first. They scored 40 of the first five overs or so. But the key was to take quick wickets and take out the danger men, obviously. And that was Rohit Sharma, who scored 50 in the last game. We took him out. Nande Berger got his edge. And then we struggled a little bit. And India started to rebuild momentum with Kohli now at the crease, of course. But then Marco Jansen, who bowled very well, I think, today. I think he was obviously the best bowler by wickets, but he was also, for me, probably one of the best bowlers on the day because of those 2 wickets as well. But I also have to give credit to Lungi Ngidi, who bowled well today. His economy was 5.10, 1 for 51. But we'll get to his wicket later. But Marco Jansen took 2 for 63, and the first one was, of course, the one of Jaiswal, who is very dangerous. I'm a fan of his. I like the way he bats. He's quite attacking. But he was a little bit slower today. He got a little bit stuck in today, and we took advantage of that. And it was 62 for 2 after 9.4 overs at that point. And then India got stuck in, and then I got scared because Virat Kohli went on to score 102 of 93 balls, 7 fours, 2 sixes. Magnificent 100 from him. Ruturaj Gaikwad scored 105 of 83 balls. He was even more magnificent. 12 fours and 2 sixes, a striker of 126.50. And they got really stuck in. I mean, their partnership was fantastic. They took India from 62 for 2 to 257. That's when I was getting really nervous and scared. But the wicket came at the perfect time for South Africa because we pulled it back. And who was it? Marco Jansen again. Marco Jansen getting that breakthrough at the perfect time. And then that was the end of Gaikwad. And then the next step was going to be to try and restrict Kohli to as little as possible. We restricted India to 284 before we took his wicket, and it was Ngidi at this point that took that wicket, the key wicket of Kohli, 102 of 93. I don't know how many times I've seen him dismiss Kohli across formats, but it's been quite a bit. And it was 7, and Kohli was dismissed, and they won 284 for 4 at that time. And then it was the aim of trying to restrict him to as little as possible. I was hoping for under 350. That was really my hope. We couldn't do it though, because KL Rahul was fantastic again. 66 of 43 balls, 6 fours, 2 sixes, a striker of 153. The captain was amazing. Captain and Wiki. And they pushed and they pushed and they pushed, but we continued to try and get wickets, and we did. We took the last wicket of Washington Sundar, which slowed them down a bit. They were 289 for 5 at that stage. But we couldn't restrict them to under 350, unfortunately. And there was a cameo from Ravindra Jadeja from 24 of 27, but it was KL Rahul that was destructive at the end there. And they took them past 300. They scored 358 for 5. And the big disappointment for me as well was the 24 extras. Again, 20 wides. It's not acceptable. It's not good at all. Our bowling wasn't the best. I have to admit that. But overall, we can smile because of what happened next. We went out to bat. Wasn't a great start for South Africa. We were 1 down, Quinn de Kock, 26 for 1 after 4.5 overs. But then came a big partnership that kind of set up the innings, I would say. Aiden Markram and Temba Bavuma put on a 101-run partnership. Temba with 46 or 48, 3 fours and 1 6. I felt that his innings deserved a half century. He kicked on, unselfishly kicked on, and tried to hit boundaries to up the run rate, because at this stage of the match, we were falling a little bit behind the run rate. We needed a boundary every over. That was the difficult part about it. We really needed to kick on, and Temba wanted to try and do that, and then he ended up hitting a 4 and then losing his wicket after trying another one. So he went out for 46, but Aiden was still at the crease at this point, and he continued to kick on, and him and Matthew Bresky put on 70 odd. Between the two of them, they pushed on. Oh my God. Matthew Bretsky again with another 50. This guy just doesn't stop scoring. Really, he doesn't. Matthew Bretsky scored 68 of 64 balls, 5 fours for him. And they pushed South Africa to 197 before Aiden Markram lost his wicket. And that's when I thought it was game over at this point. But you have to believe in your young guns. You have to believe in your players. And Deva Brevis came into the crease and he didn't disappoint at all. 54 of 34 balls, 1 4, 5 sixes, 158 run strike, 158.82 strike rate, sorry, not run. Brilliant. Took us to 289. But then obviously, as you know, Deva Brevis is going to go and play his attacking game, and that was his downfall, and he ended up losing his wicket, and we were 289 for 4 after 40.3 overs. And then Tony DeZorzi came in and he kind of consolidated the innings a little bit. He batted really well. I think he was in good form. 17 of 11, 1 6. And then his hamstring snapped after taking a hard single. And then I was very worried because I'm like, oh no, that's another batter, that partner that Matthew Brzezinski is losing now. Um, another main batter that we lost because Matthew Brzezinski was out, I think, already by that point. And it was now, we were in a strong position though at that point. We were 317 for 5 when Matthew Brzezinski lost his wicket, and then 322 for 6 when Marco Jansen lost his wicket. And that was another thing that was scaring me because now we're losing all of our like proper all rounders and stuff and batters and stuff. So that was a little bit scary for me at that point because I was like, wow, we need to win this match. Can we win this match? We got it to win a runner ball, and then we got it to less than a runner ball, and then Corbin Bosch and Keshav Maharaj just played sensible cricket. Singles when they needed to, doubles when they needed to. Corbin Bosch scored 29 of 15, 4 fours, 193 strike rate. Keshav Maharaj 10 of 14, played very smartly, rotated the strike when he needed to, put the ball into the gaps for the singles, and we chased down that total, guys. We scored 362 for 6 with 5 balls remaining. So proud of this win. It's the third highest chase in India ever. It's the highest chase in India by South Africa, by a South African team. And then it also is the third highest chase, I think, in our history. What more can I say to level a series, guys? What more can I say to level a series? Phenomenal performance today. The fight, the way they the way they were composed at the crease today. Aiden Markram with a brilliant 100 after all of that criticism that he's been getting. To put in a performance where it matters most is what Aiden's been doing for South Africa. Now, I think that Coach Shukri probably has the mentality now that, yeah, if Aiden goes on bad form and doesn't perform for a couple of games, so what? When it comes to these crunch moments, he's going to score us winning runs. Did it in the World Test Championship. We need him to do it in a 50 over World Cup now. He's now done it in this series now for this match. I mean, what a performance, and well done, South Africa. Win by 4 wickets. We level the series, and I am smiling for a change on this channel. I was smiling after the test series. The test team is really making me smile a lot these days. But a white ball win, I mean, a win like this, it's not often that we see our white ball team get victories like this. And to chase that amount, I mean, that is the big thing for me because chasing's been a big Achilles heel for South Africa. We really bat well when we bat first. We really do well in matches when we bat first. We tend to win those matches when we bat first. But when we're chasing, we've had some trouble in the past. It hasn't been that easy for South Africa when we chase. But we're starting to look like a team that doesn't want to give up. And that is something that I think is invaluable. And that's something that the coach is instilling into South Africa, into all of our cricket. And we need to continue this. We need to continue this. Bavuma comes back and he puts on a performance and he contributes to the team. It was very unfortunate that he didn't get a half century. He deserved one. He really, really did. But he's unstoppable. He's unselfish. He's really unselfish to have to go to try and kick on that run rate and try to help South Africa win this match. Well done, Proteas. Very proud of you. Very good performance. Let's get into the live chat. ID number says excellent. He says again, brilliant, Bosch. ODI team is shaping up for a home World Cup. Brendan Shumba says Bavuma brings so much balance to the team at 3. Shafra says, congratulations, Khalid. Another instant classic match. Yep. So good to see this. It's making my life a lot easier when we win matches. Safra says, for me, Aiden, Temba, Matthew with another ODI masterclass and wonderful Deva completed the job for SA. Man, Deva Brevis is going to be a key player for South Africa. Underrated songs for you says they should keep Brevis at 5. Today he took his time. At 6, he just wants to slog. Yeah, I mean, he was very good. The way he paced his innings today was brilliant. But we know Brevis is there's a time in the match that he's gonna kick on, and that's what I love about him. It can work in his favor, it can also work against him. And underrated songs for you. I mean, if you promote underrated songs, you need to go check my song out and that I've on my channel, my personal channel, and promoted there, please, man. Safa says this is moral boosting win for SA, who had issues chasing big totals. Nizam says SA has the best middle order in the world. Wow, that's a massive statement. It's a massive statement. I mean, England is not too bad. And India is not too bad. Sri Ram, I think that's your name because it's a very long name here. So I think your name is Sri Ram. But I'm going to say Bavuma is the lucky charm of South Africa. If Bavuma is the captain for 2027 World Cup, if injury don't prevent him, then it's time for Africa. This time for Africa. Nizam says Matthew and Brevis is our future stars. Safa says this is what I have been saying for a while, that Devil should be pushed at 5 to bat in ODIs and even Test cricket. Now, can you imagine 5 Devalt and 6 Miller? That's tasty for the T20 World Cup now. The Shadrag says, well done, boys. Now please clean up the bowling in the decider. Underrated songs for you says, if the Zorzi is ruled out of the T20 series, I would like to see Jason Smith. He has been devastating in a recent CSA T20 tournament. In ODIs, I would like to see Ruben Herman. Isn't Ruben Herman in the squad? I would like to see Ruben Herman get an opportunity in the last, if Tony is injured. I can't remember who's in the ODI squad, guys. Can you remind me, please? I don't have the graphic with me right now. So just remind me later on in the show. I'll get when I get to your comment. Mpumalelo says, what a win. I was nervous throughout the whole run chase, but credit to the middle order. We did it. Sarfa says, this issue of fitness is eating at the Proteas men. Today, South Africa would have been in trouble if Corbin didn't play well. Hopefully, Tony discovers well, but injury is part of sport. Safra says, I hope to see Ruben in place of Tony in the next ODI. Underrated songs for you says, look at Shubnam Gill getting the injury as well. So, in the test matches. So, it's part of sport. Looks like Ruben Herman will play the next match, or will they play Rickleton at 5? No, I don't think they'll play Rickleton at 5. They'll do the same like they did in the first inning, in the first ODI, if they bring Rickleton in. Sami says, too many extras. I agree with you. Sorry for doubting you, Markram, he says. PSBG3 says, Nandra's injury is really concerning. I think he's fine because he padded up to come out to bat. So I think he'll be all right. Hopefully he is, because he keeps on getting injured. It's a big problem when we need him. But Malelo says the bowling wasn't all that good, to be honest, from bowlers besides Marco and Lungi. The extras were ridiculous. Hope the bowling coach can help them for the final ODI so we can get 2 up in the tour. Our extras have been a problem for a while now, and no bowling coaches seem to have helped us. With regards to that, we need to sort that out. That's a big problem for South Africa because it puts us in very, very difficult positions. It puts us in dangerous positions. It makes it very hard for our teams to get victories, especially when you start. I don't think we're as bad when we chase, to be honest. When we bowling second, sorry. But especially when you're bowling first, you need to be as tight and clinical as possible to put pressure on the opposition. You can't be giving away so many wides, man. 20 wides. I know the leg buys are a little bit because you can lose your line a bit and maybe get 1 or 2 bad balls that don't necessarily keep straight or swing too much, and I can understand that. But the wides, too many wides. Bad. PSBG3 says, chasing was the issue for Proteas for a long time. Great to see Brzezinski do consistently in chases too, and learned from his mistakes in the last match. But my thing is that Matthew Brzezinski, he's been in form. He hasn't fallen out of form. Like he goes one match, maybe two matches, maybe, but then majority of the time, if he gets to like 20, 30, he goes on to score of half century minimum. Guy's unbelievable in ODI cricket. We need to really, really invest in. Like he's the guy for us in that middle order. He needs to be kept there because he's been doing amazingly. And it doesn't matter where we're playing. Whether we're playing South Africa, I think in England he will do well. It doesn't matter where we're playing. Look at those conditions now. Even in India, he's performing. So brilliant from him. Chatil says, does Bavuma know how to lose? Yeah, he does. We're hoping he doesn't. ID number says, Brzezinski is the perfect ODI middle order batsman we need. Lawangin says, Bavuma is unstoppable. Kaveri says, guys, I'm struggling here with the pronunciations. Please, bear with me. If I get it wrong, I apologize. Really great win by the Proteas, looking like a world-class side. With Miller and Rabada, we look unbeatable. Lavangin says, King Bavuma is unstoppable. Underrated songs for you, says Bavuma is our lucky charm. Akshin says, the best part about the South Africa side is that they don't accept defeat till they have actually lost. Could be 3 down at the start or have 2 guys injured. They still show fight. And that is the thing that I am the most proud of. Like, that is improvement. You talk about improvement. Winning only isn't improvement. It's the way you win as well. The way you lose is also improvement. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you now. You might think I'm whack, but the way you lose is also important. That first match that we played against India now, we went there and we gave it our all and lost. Those are losses that I can accept. Those are the type of losses that I can feel proud of and I can accept. But when you go and lose like we've lost to other teams in the past, where we just roll over and get dominated, those are ones that I can't. Because especially when it looks like the players didn't put in effort and didn't put in the fight. But this team, even if they're having a bad day with the ball, you'll see the mentality and the fight and the energy in the field. And that is something that has been instilled by the coaching staff. All the coaching staff, not only Coach Shukri. You have to give it to every single coach in this team, because we know there are coaches like Ashwell Prince in this team that also have that type of mentality. So we need to give credit everywhere where it's due, but also to Coach Shukri for implementing the right mentality into the team. He worked on mentality. You can see it. He's given these players so much belief in their ability and in themselves that they can go out there and play their natural games without the fear of losing their spot, or without the fear of embarrassing their country. This is exactly what I want to see from a Proteas outfit. They're fantastic. But Malelo says, I agree with you, Khalid. We need to start winning matches chasing. We need to be good at it, especially with the World Cup at home. And I think Coach Shukri must have had that in their mind, and Temba Bavuma as well, in the leadership group, because Temba has spoken often about the leadership group in this team. And we need to start putting in performances like this and put ourselves under pressure. The World Cup is 2 years away. We could have easily taken the easy route and batted first and try and put ourselves in the best position to win this match. But we gave it, it was a challenging thing. And I know about the due and stuff, and Coach Shukri always does do what's right according to the conditions. But it seems that you can win either way, batting first or batting second, like India proved in the first ODI. I know it's different grounds, but still. But I'm glad that we're putting ourselves into positions where we need to show our mettle and show our composure. Sami says, imagine Miller and Brevis 5 and 6. Yeah, I said that earlier. Chatil says, are they playing the Zorzi at 5 because of lack of lefties in the middle order? No, I think because of the match situation at that time, we needed to kick on because we were falling behind the run rate. We were starting to need a boundary, 2 boundaries per over. And we needed to play a lot more aggressively and get the run rate up quickly to put pressure back on India to stand a chance to win the match. I think that's why they sent in Brevis, actually. because he came out and he played with intent immediately, and that's how he plays his game. So that's why I think they held back with Tony, and it paid off. Akshin says Lungi seems like a hit and miss bowler, really, especially with a new ball. I checked out his stats and was shocked that he has played only 20 tests. Seems like he has been around for a long time. Yeah, he's only played 20 tests, but he's been riddled with injuries when it comes to test cricket. That's been the big problem. He started off his test career with a bang. Real Real G7849 says, now it's hard for me to say what's up playing 11. I'm happy that Timber got out trying to win. Sarfaz says Tony is in the ODI squad, but I know that. Underrated songs for you. Do we forget about Rassi now? He hasn't done much wrong. I think so. Why do we need Rassi van der Dussen when you got a team like we have now? If you have youngsters that can batter a quicker rate than Rassi van der Dussen can, then you have to trust the youngsters. And I'm always going to be youngsters over the more experienced guys. Chatil says, imagine if Klaasen is back. Bretsky, Klaasen, Muller, Janssen. Don't need Klaasen right now. But we've got Deva Brevis. Lavangin says, Lavangin says, why Pretorius is dropped? He was so good in last series against Pakistan. Better invest in future star than OD like the cock. That was a little bit of a concern for me when Quentin de Kock asked to be back. I think that we should only give Quentin de Kock chances now in T20 cricket. I don't think we should play him in ODI cricket and then bring back Luandre. That's what I think. PSBG3 says, if Proteas bat in next match, most probably Quentin de Kock centuries loading then in Visakhapatnam. Real G7849 says, Brevis is our future. I was disappointed to read that they were only planning to take him seriously after 2027 World Cup to replace Klaasen. How do we produce on AB Colors KG if we want them after 28? Capstinger 2640. Oh, he batted himself into the team though, Matthew Britsky. He's been phenomenal ever since he made his ODI debut. They can't not pick him. It's a travesty if they don't pick him. Bro, who are the replacements for Tony DeZorzi and Nande Berger? Bro, I need to bring up that flip. Let me just bring up this bloody thing. Did I do a show with the teams, guys? I can't remember, to be honest with you. Cricket Fanatics. Bear with me, please. No. Did I not do that? Oh, man. I'm not taking so long to find this. I can't remember what my headline was of the story either. Aye. Sorry, guys. I'm taking so long with this bloody thing. Akshin says, it was great to see Aiden step up this year. Really has been stepping stone for him. Akshin says, Khalid, I hope to see you interview one of the Proteas soon, please. It's very tough to currently to interview them because when they're on tour like this, um, because they're constantly traveling, and then it's SA20, and then it's just it's a nightmare. Actually, it's very difficult to get a hold of them and get interviews scheduled because the SA20 doesn't allow us to interview players. Unfortunately, that's the crap thing about the SA20 that I don't like. They don't give us access to players, the teams. So that is the big problem when it comes to South Africa SA20, because after this, straight into SA20 after the series. So let me just go into the ODI squad quickly. Temba, Otniel, Corbin, Matthew, Dewald, Nandre, Quinton, Tony, Ruben Herman will probably come in for Tony. And then obviously Ryan Rickleton is also an option. With regards to bowlers, Otniel can come in for Nandre maybe. We don't have another fast bowler here. So it's only Otniel Bartman that will come in. Which isn't a bad shout actually. Or we go with the extra spinner in Brennelan. So it's another option. So yeah, we don't have many options. PSBG3 says fighting spirit is the key of Conrad's coaching. It's brilliant, also making players believe in their strength. Ahmed says why Shamji doesn't play anymore. He's busy making money playing in leagues. PSBG3 says is Miller still available in the number 6 spot? He will be when he's fit. Aswani says that man Corbin Bosch again should have sealed it last game too, but new ball wickets dented big time despite massive aid from Dew. PSBG3 says one team Shamsi don't want to bowl is against India. Brendan says I feel like the Zozi middle order is where he plays best. He has this hidden power hitting game that is yet to be fully unleashed. One of the reasons why he's in the T20 side. Sarfa says Devat must have realized now on what happens if he plays with match awareness and a bit composure. I liked how he aided Matthew in the partnership, 100%. In my time square says Aiden, but I told you, with time, these youngsters will learn. You need to let them figure things out themselves as well. Aiden, LDP, Ryan, Bretsky, Stubbs, Brevis is top 6. I will field in 27. PSBC3 says Landa Pretorius was brilliant in Pakistan series. Hope he would not be ignored. I don't think he will be ignored. Tansker says, I don't know why people always bring Rassi and David's name. We're losing every series for 32 years with him, and now winning with Stubbs, Bretsky, Brevis, middle order. Leslie says we must really stop giving teams extra runs via wides. 100%. I agree with you. Sir Camelot says, is there any rule on how many times you can ask for a new trial poll? I don't know what the rule is around that. PSBG3 says Ruben would come for the Zozi is okay, but Batman for Nanda is not likely. It's not likely what you want. Real G7849 says, I disagree that we shouldn't play Quinton de Kock in ODIs. He makes all ODI sides in the world. He's a superstar, especially in this format. Yeah, but I mean, I mean, 2027 is a long time away. It's 2 years. Is Quinny still going to want to play the 2027 World Cup by then? I'm not disagreeing that he's world class. I think he is obviously world class. One of my favorite players actually ever to play for South Africa. But when you have a young talent like Luandre and he's been playing well, I go with him as a youngster every day of the week actually. Unless the cock shows subliminal form heading into, but I think heading into that tournament and he makes his desires clear that he wants to play in the 2027 World Cup. Cap Stinger says, I think the Zorzi and Nande won't play the next game. I don't know what this name is. AGGPLVC says, did Dew play a part, as Rahul was saying in post-match presentation? Of course, Dew will play a part. Of course it will. But I don't think that they can use as an excuse. I think South Africa played really well against him, batted really well against him. PSBG3 says, really happy to see improvement from Janssen and Corbin, reminding Polly and Callas. PSBG says, Rassi's presence in the dressing room would help youngsters to not just waste the experience. I don't think you're wasting the experience at all. A lot of these youngsters play with Rassi, either at franchises or for domestic cricket, etc. Kubiswamy says, no, Bumrah and Hardik still couldn't even able to dominate. What are you talking about? We didn't have KJ Rabada. We didn't have Anik Nokia. We didn't have, who's apparently making a return now. We didn't have Puvuma in the first match. Like, we're also missing players, bro. Katil says, if they get Klaasen back, teams will be terrified to bowl to SA after power play. AGGP LVC says, I would like to see SA lose the toss and then win. Okay. Arjun says, I think Sen should have been selected for ODI. What are you? I agree, actually. I think Sen would be a nice addition to the ODI squad. Clinton says, we can see the unity in this team, even the Zorzi with his helmet still on till the end. PSBG3 says, LDP and Quinton de Kock should play some time together. LDP could learn a lot. They have actually played together. I was really excited to see that happen, actually, because Quinny is Luandre's hero, one of his heroes. User Roof says, are you from Bangladesh? No. I'm from South Africa, from Cape Town. Chatil says, who's the best leg spinner in South Africa currently? You need a wrist spinner in middle order on these wickets. The best leg spinner is still Tabay Shamsi. Next is Ngaba Peter. Sia Mahima is making some inroads in the domestic scene. T20 cricket, though. We don't really have many leg spinners, to be honest, and that's the big problem in South Africa. We don't produce leg spinners as we'd hope. That's something that we need to improve, but it's hard because we don't have the wickets here for necessarily that favor the leg spinners in school level across the grounds. So that what makes it a little bit difficult. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to smash the like button, comment, share, and subscribe, please. Click that notification bell as well for all future videos. It really helps me if you guys do so. And also comment in the comment section after we've ended the stream. Very important because it gets us into recommended feeds, please. Smash the like button and comment and share, like I said that as well. PSBG3 says, what about Junaid Dawood? Dawood needs to play more cricket. Problem is not playing enough cricket. Shami says Brevis leg spin, right? Yes, Brevis is leg spin. Arjun also says, what are your thoughts on Ryan future in the SSR after having Quindercock, Aiden Timber, TP? I think Ryan can still fight for his place. I don't think Coach Shukri will favor players. If you don't perform, you don't get picked. Simple as that. If Ryan performs, he gets picked. I think that's how the mentality will be. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys very, very soon with another review show. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Dex, I see your comment. What a chase, Khalid. What a chase, boy. Thanks a lot for watching. Peace out, everyone.